Hey there, ace pilots. Today, we've got a juicy one for you in our How to Squadron series. My all-time favorite, the Hornet MkI. This isn't just any medium fighter. It's a powerhouse that packs a mean punch with 3 size 3 guns and a beastly size 4 cannon. It's got the HP to take hits and flies like a dream, especially in atmospheric battles. So, why do I love it? Let's fire this baby up and show you why it reigns supreme in the skies. This round was an absolute bloodbath, wrapped up in just 8 minutes, way under the usual 15. You know it's going to be wild. I almost feel bad kicking things off with an Avenger Titan kill. That ship's practically made of tissue. Not exactly a fair fight against a dedicated fighter. He barely had time to blink. Then out of nowhere, a wild Gladius appears. 6 hits later, boom, he's gone. Fights just don't last when you're dishing out this much damage. Next, we spot an MkII, maybe the only real threat in the current meta. 2 teammates are already hammering at him, and we join in to pile on the damage. But then, a Santok sneaks up on us. With no shields left, we've got no choice but to pull back, power up our defenses, and dive back into the fray. Spotting a blade focused on a teammate, we jump in to lend a hand. We're landing hit after hit, but he's ignoring us. Big mistake. Ignoring this kind of firepower is asking for trouble. In a light fighter, one small slip can be fatal, and for him, it was. Guess what we have here? The Santok, who was on our tail earlier. Time to give him a taste of his own medicine. We've got a bandit on our back, dishing out some damage, but I'm confident I can take out the Santok before it gets too hairy. And there he goes. Santok is out. Just as our shields get depleted, sticking with the fight was the right call. Now time to pull back and reset. The usual drill. Resetting is crucial in Squadron Battles. Whether you've got no shields, multiple enemies swarming you, or you're running low on boost in the thick of it, you reset. Master this, and I guarantee you'll have a much better time in Squadron Battles. Next up, we spot a Talon. Honestly, it's another ship that's practically made of tissue. I feel almost guilty taking him out, but really, you shouldn't be bringing such fragile ships into a squadron battle, especially when everyone around you is piloting heavy hitters like the MkII and MkI. You could argue that even bringing any light fighter into the fray is risky with the way squadron battles are set up. But don't get me wrong, you can definitely make a light fighter work. It just requires smarter positioning and choosing the right battles. It's all about using what you've got wisely. The Talon is really holding its own out here. Like I mentioned earlier, the Asperia Talon is the top light fighter in the game. It's surprisingly tough, packing hit points that rival, even possibly exceed, the Hornet MkI. Despite the damage it's dishing out, I'm sticking in this fight. I'm confident I can take him down, especially since it's just the 2 of us here with no interruptions. It's a risky move, but sometimes you've just got to trust your gut in these one-on-one showdowns. As we're scouting for our next target, we spot an MkII. Definitely a solid matchup. Now, if you had to pick the better ship, the MkII edges out with more damage, more HP, and just as good maneuverability as the MkI. It really does outclass the MkI in every way, but that doesn't mean you're out of the fight. This is where your flying skills really come into play. I'm working hard to make it tough for him to land his shots, strafing in one direction at a time while still lining up my own hits. Here's a crucial tip for you all, and it might just be one of the most important ones with this flight model. Don't mix your strafes. Combining them can actually limit their effectiveness, making your moves feel sluggish. You've got to practice hitting just the right strafe at the right moment. It's a bit of a learning curve, but mastering this will definitely make you more elusive and tough to pin down. We pull back from the MkII skirmish, but a blade catches sight of us. Shields down and a bit battered. He's gunning straight for us, so let's give him the honor of a 1v1. The blade might be the hardest hitting light fighter in the game, with cannons that are not only powerful, but also easy to aim. However, a skilled Hornet pilot can still come out on top. The duel gets intense as we're running low on boost, but he takes on more damage than he can handle and is downed quicker than expected. It just goes to show, even with the odds stacked against you, good tactics and steady nerves can turn the tide. Our next target is an MkII. I'm a bit hurt, but one of my teammates is joining the fray. So, I'll take the challenge. I land a few solid shots, and my teammate chips in too. The MkII is quickly overwhelmed and goes down. This blade just won't give up, eyeing me like I'm the big prize. Sees my shields are down and probably thinks, third time's the charm. Sadly for him, he's in for a quick reality check. And down he goes. Thanks for sticking with me this far. If you're finding this guide helpful, hitting that thumbs up and dropping a comment really helps push this content out to others who might find it useful too. And hey, if there's a specific ship you want to see in our next How to Squadron series, just let me know in the comments below. Your feedback is what keeps this series flying high. As we near the end of the video, guess what? Our blade pilot has switched to the Hornet F8C. Smart move on his part. But first, let's check in on our friend, Rat God. Time for another reality check. If you don't know the story, Rat God really lives up to his name, talks a lot of trash, and thinks he's the best. Reality, though, tells a different tale. Let's poke the rat a bit and see how long he lasts in his overpowered MkII. Now the rat is dead, back to the finale with the Hornet F8C. This ship is a beast, but turns like a boat since it's a heavy fighter. However, it packs a good punch with its 8.62 guns that are all pilot controlled. Let's bring this match to a close. And that's a wrap, folks. The game is over. If you loved the chaos and want more where that came from, don't forget to subscribe and check out the full How to Squadron series right here on my channel. Thanks for flying with me today. Catch you in the next episode. MkII out.